Guys, T-Fit here with Fit Bully TV. Shout out to everybody who got fortified. I'm gonna drop an episode here soon. Jamarcus told me that someone asked about, hey, well, how come wolves don't need it? I actually think wolves do need it. I wish I could give all the wolves some. That's a whole nother conversation. Love getting out there and seeing the wolves, to be clear. Stay tuned because there's more coming about that. But we created Fortified, and one of the things I didn't add, let me talk about what I did add. So, when you think about a joint, a couple things takes place in a joint. For one, cartilage has no blood vessels. If it has no blood vessels, it's very difficult for it to do what? Recover. If it can't recover, meaning like our muscles tear, blood flows, they recover, it can restore itself in a sense almost. Cartilage has no blood vessels, so when it tears a lot of times, it just tears. And then eventually, you get the bone on bone, and then you get spurts if you're a human, and then those spurts do what? They turn into little sharp bones, and the doctor literally has to go in, cut your leg open, and use a saw to file those spurts down. And I seen a dude, he used to have to shake your hand like this. Hey, Trevor, how's it going? Because he had so many bone spurts in his shoulder. This right here is called a cavity. Your hip is also called a cavity. We'll talk about that another time, people. I wish I could simplify his bone, but it's a lot that goes into this. So when I'm studying a couple of things to start our dogs off with joint-wise, I go, chondroitin, for instance. Chondroitin helps keep cartilage healthy by absorbing fluid, particularly water, into the connective tissue. It also may block enzymes that break down cartilage and provides the building blocks for the body to produce new cartilage. Interesting. Chondroitin, so there's chondroitin there. It's right there. Chondroitin sulfate. Now, collagen type 2. I think that was one of the things that really got me excited. Because there's a study, National Library of Medicine, and they talked about the effect of type 2 collagen treatment on knee osteoarthritis. Well, how many dogs get all Arthur? And I ain't talking about that cartoon we watched when we was kids. I'm talking about arthritis. My grandmother had old Arthur. Arthur would creep up on her. She said, baby, help me up. Yes, ma'am. I got you. Grandpa, he gets stuck. That joker had rickets. He gets stuck and fall out. I said, man, how was you going to get up if I wasn't here? I was going to roll over, grab the edge of the bed and pull myself up. Boy, you 80 years old with rickets, brother. You pushing it. This particular study was to evaluate the efficiency of oral native type 2 collagen treatment on the symptoms and biological markers of cartilage degradation, which given consistently. And they gave them amphetamine in patients with knee osteoarthritis. Now the goal, of course, is to prevent arthritis. The beauty about type 2 collagen, along with its helping of production specific to cartilage, guess one of the other places you can get it. I gotta tell you the truth. You can get it from chicken bones a lot of times. But I gotta do a chicken bone series because there's a lot that the chicken bones will have in them now because they keeping the chickens cooped up, no coop. Just pinned down with no sun and none of the natural things it needs to thrive. Which is why you get cage-free eggs versus, I don't know, whatever they doing to them other chickens. I guess they caged eggs, per se. But when I'm studying joint function and joint health, joint production, even here, right here, you know, this guy talks about ossification centers appears at very different times. In the forelimbs of a German Shepherd, for instance, proximal growth plates for the upper arm appear within 14 to 60 days of birth, and the distal growth plates within 49 to 62 days. So here's the gap, right? Now, this right here, let me simplify it by this. 14 to 16, 49 to 63. Why are German Shepherds' back legs so much longer than the front legs? When the goal when breeding is create good femur, and I believe ulna. We'll be specific in another one, but you get the point. You saw the two numbers. You see the gap? The growth plates don't appear. And based on how the hips are structured, it's my belief, based on the things I'm studying, that the way the dog's legs are designed, it's a constantly pulling on the hips, so the hips never get a break. And because they're longer, now imagine walking, and every time you walk, somebody's holding on to your legs. And in that, your back is getting tight. And as your back gets tighter, you start creeping. So you see these German Shepherds with hip dysplasia and it growing because their back legs are longer than their front legs, literally. And the science shows boom, boom, boom. So you go, what all needs to go into the first product to ensure, for me, that my puppies grow strong? Now, I could have added calcium and magnesium, which we will to a degree, and some other things. But we wanted, again, to solve for basic joint health. It doesn't take a lot. Joint health, remember, to be healthy is to manage your current state. We do a lot of nutrition, and I hope you're doing the best you can as well. So to manage the proper growth of a joint, you don't want to overdo calcium, phosphorus, and some other things. But what we did do is make sure there was chondroitin, supports joint growth. Collagen type 2 supports joint function. Green lip mussels supports anti-inflammatory, the joint from becoming inflamed. Vitamin C kills free radicals in the joint area. And a few other good things in here. So you can keep building the dog up properly and effectively. Guys, there's a lot of information coming. I appreciate everyone who's bought Fortified. You're going to have more questions, and believe me, you're not the only one asking questions. I ask myself a question every day on how I can better my dogs, better your dog's health, and better overall animals everywhere, to say the least. But we're focused on dog right now until we mastered it. Fortified's one of probably the supplements I now understand is important, if not imperative, that every dog has. And I do mean consistently. For every 1 day that a dog is alive, it basically lives in 7 days. So it's got to live it like it's last, according to Neil, who did a good video on breaking that down, the guy who does all the science stuff. And when you think about that, not only are they growing at a rapid rate, they're dying at a rapid rate. And it's our job to give them the best chance to live. And God forbid they die too soon or had to be put down because they no longer could support movement, function, or just have a basic good quality of life. Guys, like, subscribe, share. Thank you for watching. T-Fit here, Fit Bully TV.